All right, recap of the day. Today we learned about Bohr models and how to make them. Now, a Bohr model is simply a picture of what the element looks like or possibly looks like under a microscope. To start building a Bohr model, first we need to focus on one element. My element is carbon. The first step is to figure out the pin. Now, the pin is just information taken from the element. So, the P stands for protons, and I get this piece of information from the atomic number. My atomic number tells me that there are 6 protons. The next piece of information I need is my electrons. So I get that piece of information from the same place. That lets me know I have 6 electrons. The last piece of information is the neutrons. I get that from the atomic mass located at the bottom. So it comes in 2 steps: round, then subtract. So first I want to round this number to make it nice and easy to use. So 12 rounded, looking at this number behind the decimal, is going to simply give me 12. I also need to subtract the amount of neutrons, because remember, the mass number gives me protons plus my neutrons. So in order to get the neutrons by themselves, I must subtract. So 12, which is the total mass, minus the protons, which is 6, gives me a total of 6. So I have 6 neutrons. Now I'm ready to build my Bohr model. With this information, I may now build a nucleus. The nucleus is the center of the atom. It has the protons, which here we have 6, and it also has the neutrons, which has 6 also. Now that I have that bit of information, I'm ready to draw my electron shells. To get my electron shells, I must use my periodic table. My periodic table tells me that carbon, if I scroll all the way over down the period, is going to have 2 electron shells. So I must draw 2 circles to represent my electron shells. 1 and 2. That's all I need. Now that I have that, I'm ready to place my electrons. I have a total of 6. Now remember, we learned today that to place electrons, you must follow the 2-8-8 rule. On the first shell, there can only be 2. On the second shell, you need to use up to 8 electrons. And if you have a third shell, you can only use up to 8. So, let's start placing our electrons. I have a total of 6, so I'm going to draw 6 tick marks. So, I'm going to use 2, just like the rule says, on my first shell. Now I have 4 left. Those 4 can be placed on my second shell because there's no more room left on my first shell. So I'm going to place those in pairs just so I can keep up with the numbers. So I'm going to put 2 and cross off 2. I have 2 more, and I'll put those right here. Remember, you do not have to fill up the whole shell. If you don't have enough, you just leave it exactly where it is. And now you've built a Bohr model of carbon. Alright, you guys, see you tomorrow.